Okay, but when you look at the questions all together, then it gets confusing.
Right.
Okay, so that's the reason I wanted you to attempt it, so that you know how it is. Okay.
So in the exam as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the passages will be given this way for the
Yes,
questions.
yes. You will get
Okay.
two such passages in your exam.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm feeling like after doing this,
Mm-hmm.
initially I spent, I think, a lot of time while reading the passage, maybe three,
Correct.
4 minutes around,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember right, 4 to 5 minutes.
I
And then
guess.
later it was again like on the passage they have given the question. So I would have like quickly checked like how the pattern of the question is, and then I would have read the passage. So that way I would have saved some minutes.
Correct, correct. I told you that yesterday only, if you remember, that
Right, right.
you can do a quick reading first just to know what is there in the passage, and then you can start attempting the questions directly. Okay, because otherwise, if you spend a lot of time in initial reading, your time goes down when
Mm-hmm.
you start doing the questions actually.
Right.
Okay, that's the reason.
I have to remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine, it was your first time, so now you can, like, you can make your own strategies also. See, these are
Mm-hmm.
some strategies that I am telling you which works for me accord, and it works for the students also according to me, but you can come up with your own strategies also. But I would say now is the time where you come up with those strategies.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can't go to the test center and make such kind of
True.
strategies. That's what you have to keep it in mind.
Yeah.
When you are not prepared, that's what happens, I would say. That's why someone should be there to guide you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll move ahead with the next question type that we have, that is vocabulary question. That's somewhere you faced a bit difficulty today. But you must
Right.
have understood that the vocabulary questions are not very high level of vocabulary. These are kind of
Mm.
vocabulary which we have come across, and the words that we have already come across, and we might be using them also many times. Correct? So we do not need to know, say, meaning of the exact word. Even if we look at the options, we should be able to guess the answer over there. Okay, now your vocabulary question is basically to identify the meaning of the words. Correct? Now they might just give you individual words, or they might give you phrases as well, as they are used
Mm.
in the reading passage. Now understand this, in English most of the times your words have more than one meanings. Okay, so, but you, in options, most of the times you will not get those meanings, you will get totally different meanings.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to understand how that word fits into the passage that you are reading. Okay, so that's the reason they ask you what it is the closest meaning to according to the passage. Yeah, so you have to understand the word according to the passage. Okay, uh, usually, as they are saying, usually a word or phrase is chosen to be tested as a vocabulary question, because understanding that word or phrase is important to understanding the whole text over here, which is your, according to your academic subject. So that is the reason they are asking this word to you. Okay, now you already know that the word will be highlighted in the question as well as the paragraph over there. Okay, so
Mm.
it becomes easier for you to locate, you don't need to keep searching for it where the word is exactly. Okay, the word, the questions will look like this. The word in the passages is closest in meaning to the phrase dash is in the passages is closest in meaning to. In stating x, the author means that. Such kind of questions will be there. Okay, now the best thing that you can do over here, of course, you will look at the question, you will look at the options. Okay,
Mm.
usually when you look at the options itself, you should be able to guess the answer over here. Okay, but still what you will do is you will go back to the paragraph, you will look at the paragraph, you will see the context in which it is being used. Okay, and then you will, the option that you have selected, you will take that option and you will replace the word which is given over there, and then you will read that sentence, and you will see, like, you can understand and or observe if the sentence still makes sense, it does not change
Mm-hmm.
the meaning of the sentence. Okay, that's how you can easily solve this question. Understand, this vocabulary question is the easiest in the reading test. Okay, so do not spend lot of time with it. You should
Mm-hmm.
hardly spend 20 seconds to 30 seconds with it. Why?
Okay.
Because the question is very small, okay, and you have only four word options. You don't have very big options that you have to keep reading them. Okay,
Right.
so that is the reason you should spend very less time with it, so you get more time with the other questions which are time consuming. Okay, sometimes you might get one question for vocabulary, sometimes you might get two for vocabulary. Okay, that's what you have to remember. हाँ, at least one तो आता ही है. That's what you have to remember. As I said, reread the sentence in the passage, substituting the word or the phrase that you have chosen. Okay, and see if it still makes sense. Now, here we are going to quickly watch a small video. Just 1 second, it's loading. I guess it's raining today, so that's why we have some network issue.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'll play the video.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Michael from ETS. Today on Inside the TOEFL Test, we're going inside the TOEFL IBT reading section, specifically the vocabulary questions. Vocabulary questions ask you to identify the meanings of words and phrases as they are used in the reading passage. It's easy to identify vocabulary questions because there will be a word or phrase highlighted in the reading passage, and you will see questions like these, with phrases like closest in meaning or the author means. Now let's look at a sample vocabulary question. This one is from a reading passage about meteorite impacts. Here's an excerpt from the passage with the vocabulary word highlighted. Here's the sample question.
Okay, try doing it first. Then we'll look at the answer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, what's your option?
A.
A.
Should continue to pose a natural hazard to life on Earth.
Okay, let's look at the answer then.
Question, which asks the meaning of the word pose. Now, there's really not much stress.
Okay, pose means काहीतरी दाखवतं ते म्हणजे असं present. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Claim will be different.
Strategy in answering these vocabulary questions. The words that are tested are academic vocabulary that you should know if your English is at the level of a university student. They are not usually words that you can guess from context. So the best general strategy to be ready for this type of question is to build your vocabulary. Keep in mind that there's a difference between academic vocabulary and specialized vocabulary. Academic vocabulary words can be used across many fields of study. These are the kinds of words you'll be tested on. Specialized vocabulary words are specific to one field. If words like this are in a TOEFL reading passage, they will be defined for you. Here's a tip for increasing your vocabulary. Many English words come from Latin or Greek. So if you study Latin and Greek roots, that will help you remember the meanings of words. And it can also help you figure out the meanings of words you may not know. For example, if you know that the Latin root terra means earth, then when you see this sentence from the passage that talks about the terrestrial material found at the impact site, you'll know that it's referring to the material from the earth, not from the meteorite. There are lots of ways to improve your English skills.
Okay, but again, I would say I will share a list of vocabulary words with you that you need vocabulary that you need to know for this test. Some of them are very easy, some of them are a little higher level, but I would say when you go through these words, you need to know every form of these words. Okay. For example, if I say academic, you should know what is academician also.
Okay.
Okay, I would say. So these are different forms, like forms of it. For example, we use it as a noun also. Say particular word, we could use it as a noun also. We could use it as a verb also. We could use it as an adjective also. So you should know every form of it. कोई भी फॉर्म में यूज किया गया है, so you should be able to understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's start with our first practice question for today.
Okay.
Sorry.
Evolution, option A.
How?
Logo it's accomplished by changes in the body shape. So body shape is task of moving about. It's fulfilled in many ways. Okay, I don't know that locomotion. What's the meaning of locomotion? So I'm just guessing based on the sentence.
Mm-hmm. What is the meaning of motion?
Motion is movement.
Then,
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay, now try to replace it in the sentence and read.
Changes in the body shape. Okay, yeah, movement. Then it goes to.
Correct? Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because again, the task of moving, that is also given in the previous sentence.
Yeah, I missed that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you have to keep in mind, okay? Movement is the answer over here. One more.
Some poisonous. Okay. Okay. Now I'm confused between A and B
Why?
because
Paralysis म्हणजे काय असतं? आपण we know paralysis in real life also, like we have seen people getting paralysis, right?
right.
We know
Yeah.
what is paralysis.
Yes. Like half body part they will not able to use kind of.
Then what will be your
So
option over here?
A then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get confused.
No, because it's like poisonous snake. So that
Mm-hmm.
confused me. Like okay, they'll suffer paralysis, meaning they might mean okay they become unconscious.
Okay. Of
Yeah.
course, that will be an immediate effect, but over a period of time, they will suffer paralysis. Again, that's something that we need to understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. This is a little longer passage, so pay attention properly and don't get confused. Give me only one correct answer.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
B option number.
Option B.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. Okay.
Correct. Because increases is closest in meaning to augment. From the context, you know that augment has impact on knowledge. Correct?
Right.
It
Yeah.
tells us that it has some impact on knowledge. When a body is dissected, its structure are cut apart in order to observe their physical attributes and the relationships to one another, which shows that they learn more about the body through
Body through
dissection.
dissection. Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason. One more.
Mm. Option A.
Deterioration. Okay, that's correct. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to read the explanation? Read it quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, understood?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
we will not move to the next question. We will stop over here for today. Okay,
Okay.
we will move to the next question types tomorrow. But meanwhile, as I have told you yesterday, go through the reading chapter. Okay, go through the question types on your own also once, so that you know what we are trying to do over here in the class. Okay, and
Mm.
if you have any doubts, of course, you can ask me
Yeah.
after that. Okay, any doubts or any questions in whatever we did today? Vocabulary questions sound difficult at the start, but once you understand the knack of it, it becomes
Yeah.
easier. ठीक है?
Mm-hmm. So,
थोड़ा silly
you'll
mistake कर रहे
be,
हो
you
आप
said
vocabulary
you'll be,
question में.
sorry, what you said?
I was just saying you're just making some silly mistakes in vocabulary
Yeah.
question. Okay, we can work on it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
So, like, you said, like, you'll be sharing those vocabulary I mean, to increase the vocabulary, you'll be sharing the words,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
I'll share the
Okay.
list of words with you. Your task is you're going to find their meanings and you're going to try using those words in sentences. Okay, that's your
Okay.
task. Okay, and the way I told you, you will try to find out every form of that word. Understood?
Mm. Mm.
Hmm. That's something that you will do. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll stop over here. We'll continue tomorrow. Uh, be on time, okay? Don't be late.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, chalo. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah.
Any
Thank you.
questions?
Have a good day.
Any
No, no
doubt?
questions.
Okay.
No.
You also have a great day ahead. I'll see you tomorrow.